Now here in the newsroom of Bixpo 2018, I'm joined by Helena Anderson, President of Ikigai. Thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome. It's lovely to see you.
So is it your first time here in Korea?
It's my second time in Korea, but my first time at Bixpo.
First time in Bixpo?
Yes.
So did you have a time to look around?
Yeah, a little bit. I was very jet lagged when I arrived yesterday, but
Indeed.
I made a point of wandering around the this area and also the Innovation Center, which was fascinating.
So what's your overall impression about the whole exhibition?
What's amazing to me is that unlike a lot of other conferences that I go to, there's not that mix in other conferences of really cutting edge in innovation, the involvement of universities and young startups mixed with this, big industrials who are very involved in the energy transition space. And as someone who spends all day, every day in the UK talking to investors about how to invest in this new area of energy, it's so exciting to see them sitting alongside each other rather than it being all about the old-fashioned. There's so many new ideas that are coming out at Bixpo. It's really exciting.
Indeed, new technologies, cutting-edge technologies everywhere.
Exactly, and not just big companies, but little startups.
Indeed,
and that's fantastic.
So, speaking about your company, Ikigai, can you give us a brief introduction of what you do?
Yeah, sure. Well, my company is actually quite a young company, but it came out of my work with the UK government. So for a couple of years, I was the head of capital investment at the Department for International Trade in the UK. And in that role, I set up a little investment bank that encouraged international investors, pension funds, big industrials, sovereign wealth funds, VC, high net worth individuals to invest in the energy sector in the UK. And at the end of last year, I left the Department for International Trade and was asked by my investor clients to set up my own company. And now I help technology companies and developers to find the right sort of strategic money to help them grow and expand, to prove their technologies and to do some really exciting projects in the UK and the rest of Europe.
Well, sounds exciting. So what kind of business opportunities are you looking into here in Korea or want to?
Well, I think what Korea is doing around the demonstration of energy storage and microgrids is probably what I'm most excited about. And I think KEPCO has a unique position in the market that they are able to take a long-term view and to demonstrate these new technologies in real environments. And that's really important for us in the UK because it's more difficult for private investors with shareholders who are very demanding to take a risk on new technology. So if we can see that it has been demonstrated here and it's having a big impact on reducing carbon, improving resilience for customers and reducing costs, if we can see it's really working in Korea, then we would love to partner with organizations that are doing that here in the UK and to learn from that. So that's really what I'm excited about in coming over.
Indeed. So what status do you think Korea is in the energy industry so far?
Well, I think that KEPCO as an investor and as a utility is really highly regarded in the UK. And a number of the Korean construction companies that are very active in energy, particularly in sectors like offshore wind, are very highly regarded in the UK. One area though that I hope Korean companies will do more of is actually investing overseas, because one of the best ways to share knowledge and to accelerate growth of the industry is to partner with companies in the UK to demonstrate projects in the UK together, and then to take those UK companies and the best technology and the best minds back to Korea to then do more ambitious things here. And so that idea of international collaboration, I hope we'll see more of from Korea in the future.
Well, we hope to see more business collaborations from you from here too as well.
Yeah, likewise, likewise.
So before we conclude, can you give us some suggestions or comments or opinions regarding to the BIXPO 2018 for our viewers looking at the camera?
Well, I think it's been an amazing event. I was privileged to speak this morning at the Energy Transition Leaders Summit. I think it would be really great to, in the future, have perhaps more case studies on some of the projects that are happening around the world, for example, in smart cities or microgrids, and to have presentations on how those projects were actually delivered, because so often at these conferences you have really great presentations, but they're at such a high level, it's very difficult to imagine how you could actually replicate that, how you could actually make that happen on the ground.
Into reality.
Into reality, exactly. So it would be fantastic to hear next year some live case studies of success stories.
Well, thank you so much for your suggestions, and thank you so much for sharing your valuable insights with us.
You're very welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Helena Anderson, President of Ikigai. Thank you, and thank you once again.
Thank you.